What's up, everyone? I appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this video. In this one, I was going to be discussing some things that a lot of players might have missed, especially this secret that was mentioned at the end of the Fallout 76 Wastelanders preview at PAX East that Bethesda hosts. The reason why most players missed this is because, well, it was said at the very end of the stream. And it was only said for a brief moment. I haven't been really seeing many people talk about this, so I thought it'd be something interesting to bring up in this video. I'm also going to be discussing some other things that were shown within the Fallout 76 Wastelanders gameplay. Also, before I go ahead and get into this, I just want to let you all know real quick that I do have a giveaway going on over on my Instagram in case you don't know about it. It's really easy to participate in it. It's going to be ending here in, well, 7 days now. It's ending on March 9th. And how you participate is just simply follow my Instagram, leave a like on the photo that you see me holding up this Amazon gift card, which, by the way, this is a $100 Amazon gift card. I just took this part off, and I'll be giving the winner the code. It's pretty straightforward to participate. And the reason why I'm doing my giveaway over there is because I'm trying to accumulate more followers on my Instagram, because I do a lot of behind the scenes for bigger projects over on there. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could stop by and give it a follow, even if you're not interested in the giveaway. Because once again, I do a lot of behind the scenes for my bigger projects that I upload here on YouTube. And not to mention, you get to know me more as a person instead of just this dude who plays games. But yeah, now since that's out of the way, I just had to give a friendly reminder since that is going to be ending here soon. Let's go ahead and get into this. First thing I'm going to be getting into is that secret that was mentioned near the end of the stream. It was mentioned when they were wrapping up the preview. Okay, so it starts around the 25-minute mark. I'll go ahead and start it right here. I'll start it right here.
There's some locations that have now had a complete makeover and been completely cultified. If you want to talk about the stuff you do.
That's a good word.
Yeah, so
I'm a writer. It's a word now.
It's kind of like the cult outfits you've seen before, where there's all the twisted wood everywhere and stuff.
Lots of skulls.
Lots of skulls, glowing things. But also, if you come there at like the right time of day, you'll see special stuff. Maybe. Not gonna spoil it.
So
wink.
So first off, the guy who was talking right there is the lead artist for Fallout 76. He seems like a really chill dude. And he was actually talking about some kind of secret or special thing that could happen when we go to where the cultists are located at a certain time. I'm thinking around 3 a.m. That's typically when the creepy stuff happens. I heard 3 a.m. is actually called the witching hour or something like that. But yeah, I have a feeling if we go there around that time, something interesting is going to happen. Maybe this is how we can get the Wendigo Colossus in game. Or then again, it could be just a random encounter like the Sheep Squatch. Or it could be some kind of new boss fight like the Scorch Beast Queen, which that's what I'm hoping for. And it'd be really cool if we have to summon it somehow. And maybe we learn how to summon it from the cultists. I'm not exactly sure, but this is something new that's going to be in Fallout 76. Where we have to go to certain areas at a certain time, and then something different is going to be happening. It's really interesting. I have a feeling the cultists are definitely going to be doing some kind of ritual at a certain time. And now that I think about it, when we go to the Settlers Foundation at really late, I have a feeling they're going to be sleeping and whatnot, obviously, instead of outside working. Which is once again awesome to think about, because now the game is based around time more. At the moment, it's not so much. You can go anywhere at a certain time, and it's basically the same thing happening, because all of the NPCs are robotic. And not to mention, in general, there's nothing special that goes on in night or day. At least specifically, that is. You know what I'm saying? There's not an event or something special that happens that we have to go to at a specific time. At least as far as I know of, anyways. So yeah, once again, this is going to be a brand new feature that's going to be introduced within Fallout 76 Wastelanders. And I'm going to be experimenting around with different things at certain times, because I have a feeling there's going to be some secrets that'll happen within certain times. Now I want to go ahead and get into some other things that were discussed that I have a feeling some of you might have missed. For instance, let me go ahead and try to find it in the stream here. Speaking of time as well, in case you don't know, let me go ahead and show you guys this real quick. The lead designer actually mentions it briefly here.
So right away, you're getting the new Wastelander content right out of the doors. And even before in the vault, we went through and did a pass to make sure that a year has passed, you feel it, it makes sense. For some reason, you make it up. You decided to sleep in for, I got 12 months or so. So
There's an example of our news.
Okay, so right there he was talking about how when the Wastelanders does officially release, it's going to be a year in the future of the game. So basically, we've been around in West Virginia now for a year. It actually makes sense, though, because the game has been out for a year. Even a year on our Pip-Boy is going to change, too. So yeah, anyways, next up here, I wanted to show you guys real quick how we can officially go into the negatives with our stats and get some, secretive dialogue in a sense. The reason why I mentioned secretive, because this kind of dialogue isn't going to be really used as often. We're going to be having to use things that will make our stats go down more into the negatives, which is possible. Check this out.
Oriented in the world,
Yes, the lead
there'll be
designer
humor
speaks
and
of it
stuff
here.
like that, but we're trying.
Come on, around.
We're trying to make it so
9:30.
that we're telling a story of hey, it was a wasteland, and now the Wastelanders are back. People coming here to explore it, and they react realistically to what's happened in the past, and sort of built up based off of that.
Yeah, as a player, it's just exciting to see this wide cast of characters. Before we were doing a lot of interesting quests for characters that had effectively died before you came through, and now you get to see these characters, interact with them, and there's some very memorable ones in the lineup. We'll talk about
We'll
those
see
in a
some
bit.
of them.
Yeah.
I wanted to pause it right here because, Jeff, you had mentioned the speech checks earlier. We have a red charisma here, which means...
The funny thing is that the character over here has too high a charisma. So we have negative speech challenges too, to where it's actually if you're really not so great, you can choose it. It's one of the best speech checks in the game, actually, because you basically say
Not sure
yeah,
I've got
we should
enough
send
on
out
hand,
invitations, and then
unfortunately.
she's like,
No.
yeah, you can do
We're
that,
gonna
honey.
draw
You
them
know,
in
it's,
by making them
it's
think you're Crane.
but we just went
Just give me
crazy
1
with them
second.
because it was, we
So we're going to be having some interesting dialogue said to us if we're in the negatives. As you guys saw for the preview, they were negative in the charisma category, but they didn't choose that option. I might experiment around with being in the negatives as well for you all too, so you guys can see some interesting reactions from the human NPCs. I think that'll be fun. I'm sure there's a lot of hilarious dialogue that was added for those scenarios. Okay, so last up here, I wanted to get into the new event that they showed off called Riding Shotgun. I feel like Bethesda really got this event right, because in this event we get to help human NPCs. It gives us more of a reason to actually go and do this, because we feel like we're helping more in a sense. I hope there's more events like this in Fallout 76 Wastelanders. If there isn't, Bethesda should definitely consider making more events similar to this, where we're helping friendly human NPCs. And heck, they don't even have to be human. We could be helping friendly ghoul NPCs. That'd be sweet. Either way, more events like this is great. This is something Bethesda really got right once again. And also, while they were showing this off, they showed off some new weapons, new enemy types, and some new power armors. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm gonna pause it whenever they're talking, by the way, so hope you don't mind that. If you want to watch it for yourself, I have a link down below in the description to the whole stream in case you want to check it out with them talking. Sorry if you were listening to them or whatever, but I just wanted to get more into what they're going over within this. Just trying to get more in depth over what they showed off. Get my earbuds back in and let's play this. Starting off around a little over 21 minutes and 30 seconds.
But there's also some new events that have been added. Mark, do you want to talk about some of the events?
Yeah, we've got a couple of events lined up for Wastelanders. Right now we're looking at one of our standard events that's player initiated, Riding Shotgun. This takes place in the existing location of the Big Bend Tunnel. You're going to help
So right off the bat there, we saw some named human NPCs within this event, and there's this new faction called the Blue Ridge Caravan as well. And they also mentioned how we're going to be helping different factions go through this Big Bend tunnel. So we're not just helping the same human NPCs over and over. There's going to be a variety. And apparently they have a little bit of lore to them too that we'll get to learn as well. So that's pretty interesting. Now, getting further into this gameplay footage, they show off a new set of power armors. A new Raider power armor and a new Settler power armor. They went over this in the past. This is going to be something that we can choose to purchase. It's like a bonus pack. If you purchase like the Settler pack, of course, it's going to come with like pure Settler stuff, cosmetic wise, stuff for your camp and the power armor. And if you purchase the Raider pack, you're going to get, the Raider power armor and Raider stuff for your camp. You can choose to purchase both too, which I might end up doing just because I don't want to miss out on some certain things that they, have in each bundle deal. But here we get to see a glimpse of the new bow in action with explosive arrows. That's cool. And the lead artist also goes over some other arrow types that we're going to be able to mess around with, such as poison and whatnot. Check it out.
Got our new weapon here, the bow, which is
we
super
have
cool.
all sorts of new weapons that we've added. And it's
All
not
you
just
sneaky
arrows.
archers.
Yeah, you can mod the bow so it explodes or it does poison, lots of other things.
I think I also saw some. Is this unique power armor for Wastelanders?
Yeah, we have the Raider and Settler packs, so those both have their own unique power armors. We spent a lot of time on those and they look great. And you can also see one of them has the plasma caster. It's back from the Fallout 1, so that was always my favorite weapon. And also the Gauss minigun, which is like the most expensive weapon to fire in the game.
There are also perks related to the bow.
So as you just heard, they were using the plasma caster and the Gauss minigun. I don't know if y'all caught that the last time you watched this, but that's something also to point out. That was a Blood Eagle, by the way. It's one of the new enemy types. They're apparently more evil than the Raiders. And actually, believe it or not, the Raiders aren't technically evil. They go over that as well within this preview. They talk about how the Raiders were here before the Settlers. And the Settlers are kind of like squatters taking over the place. And they were mentioning how, a lot of people are assuming that the Raiders are the ones with the black hats. But technically, they're not so much as we're assuming. So if you're trying to go the good route, you're trying to figure out what faction to go with for your main character, keep in mind you can technically be the good guy within both faction storylines. That's what I got out of it anyways, which is pretty cool, because I thought the Settlers were supposed to be the good guys, but no, it seems like you can be good with the Raiders as well. Blood Eagles, though, the new faction enemies, they just seem violent-minded. And he's speaking right here about the optional objective that we get within the event. He mentions now that there's going to be optional objectives within events to help us get better rewards at the end. But yeah, there is a great preview of the Settler power armor right there. That's a great preview. Let me go ahead and slow that. Bang! That is one big gun. It's the Gauss minigun. Looks awesome. Now, also, Bethesda went over some more weapons briefly within this new event. Go ahead and fast forward to those right here. We get a short glimpse right here of the Industrial Hand, which was a weapon we could use in Fallout New Vegas. Check it out. It attacks like a power fist, but has a buzz blade at the end of it. Looks sweet. And right here is the new Gauss pistol that we're going to be able to get our hands on. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to be getting these Gauss weapons yet, but they're going to be new weapons that are going to be introduced into the game. I'm honestly thinking about making a bow build sometime in the future. I'm thinking about making a new character and just leveling them up a bunch. And then when Wastelanders officially releases, I'm going to spec into bow perks, because Jeff Gardner did mention that there will be bow perks coming within this stream, which is good to know, because now we can make a solid bow build. At the moment, crossbows don't really do much damage because there's no bow perks. But in the future, they may. So if you have a good crossbow, I suggest holding on to them, because in the future they could be worth more, depending on how many new bow perks are going to be coming. I have a feeling, though, the bows may be the new meta in the future, at least for sneak VATS builds. I'm hoping. Seems like a lot of fun to play with them. But yeah, before I completely wrap this up, once again, if you want, feel free to go check out my Instagram. A link to it will be down below in the description, even if you aren't interested in the $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could just stop by and give it a follow. I'm trying to hit 15K followers on there. I'm a little over 12K, so yeah, it'd be cool if you could help out. And no, I'm not gaining any extra revenue or whatever from my Instagram, in case some of you might be thinking that. But yeah, now I'm officially out of here, everybody. Thanks for taking the time, watching and listening. Until next time, peace.